On today's edition of Forever Home, we're going to be talking about vinyl soffit and ventilated soffit and ridge vents and why it's important to make sure that your roof is ventilated properly. Let's take a walk and we'll show you what's going on. Here we go. Good afternoon, friends. Drew here in beautiful Avondale, Pennsylvania. Today our crew is working on re-roofing this shed roof, which is being used for storage for pool chemicals and all those other pieces. And while we're doing that, the original roof was completely degraded, falling apart. It was definitely due. So we're gonna match the shingles of this new pavilion that was put in about 2 years ago. We're gonna put the same brand, color, style. It'll be slightly different, but should be pretty close. We're gonna put that on here. But while we were looking at this and talking about it, realized that they had some very small gable vents, and I'll show you those in just a second. And we really wanted to increase the ventilation. So let me take you down there and show you what the guys are working on here today. So we'll give you a view from the outside, and then I'll take you in and give you the view from the inside here. We got our plastic drape to catch everything that's coming down when we cut that ridge vent in, and of course those little 9-inch vents are nothing, and when you've got pool chemicals stored in here, you want this place to be able to ventilate out. So we just weren't confident they were going to get enough airflow in through these vents here on the end and running through. And then what they had in the front was this vinyl soffit here, which was mounted up under this front edge here. And then what you'll see, this used to be a solid piece of plywood run through here, and the guys took and struck lines and cut these out of the way. So now that we've got those pieces out of there, Nor's putting some blocking in, which is going to allow him to nail up the new ventilated soffit, which is going to serve as our air intake. So air is going to be able to come in the front side of the shed here, go up that peak line and out the ridge vent. And then we're going to do the same thing on the back with a slightly different setup. So the back side is a little bit narrower. So what we've got is a 2-inch wide, 8-foot long stick of ventilation here. And we're going to be cutting that into the back. So you can see we've got a much narrower strip running here along the back to where we're going to install that piece of 2-inch wide vent. So this aluminum cap has come off. We're probably going to cut some plywood there, put that piece in, and then reform the aluminum capping. And those two are going to serve as our intakes. So we've got air ventilation that comes in the front and up the ridge line. Air ventilation comes in the back, goes up the ridge line. And then that's going to go out the ridge vent. They're going to cut in a 2-inch wide slot basically in the top, and we're going to put this air baffle in, and I'll show you how this works a little bit better here. In the bottom we have some filter fabric that is really just there to help keep the air in, allow the air to move through and keep the water out. So we've got this fabric down here on the back, then we've got these baffles here. Flip this over the other way, and what this does is any air as it comes up the roof, it kind of has to loop over this, and much like the 𝗷𝘂𝘀𝘀 effect, it just sort of helps suck air out. So as wind is blowing across your roof, as this is on top, that air moving across this baffle helps pull things out, but at the same time it's not able to drive rain in. So this is a very effective type of ridge vent system that we use. It is a shingle over, so we nail this down and we put cap shingles over the top of it to dress it up, make it look pretty, and make sure it's held down good and secure. So that's going to go on the roof, and this will be our exhaust. So we'll have intake, we'll have exhaust, and that's going to allow the air to move just with normal convection, just hot air rising, thermal siphon they call it, and helping to hopefully pull some of those chemical smells and just the buildup of chlorine and whatever else might be in the pool house, allow that to ventilate out much more effectively than these small little 9-inch by 9-inch vents that we've got here on the end. And so instead of relying on through flow in from one side and out the other, especially with this being the south direction and wind usually blowing across the roof this way, this system is going to be much more effective because air is going to blow in, hit the front of the shed, be able to blow up through in that soffit and out the top. And of course, as it's going over the top, the 𝗷𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 effect is going to help suck things out. So this is a very small scale, but very important to do this not only on your shed roof, because it's going to help prolong the life of the roof by keeping temperatures equal and not allowing the shingles to get as baked and as overheated, but it's far more important on your home roof. If you take a inexpensive shingle versus a 50-year shingle and you put those both on the same house, and you install the 50-year shingle wrong with no ventilation, and you install the 10 or 15-year shingle correctly with proper nailing and proper ventilation, which one's likely to last longer? Well, that 50-year may wind up blowing off on you. So really it comes down to who your installer is and are they following the correct protocols to make sure that things are put together properly and that you've got proper ventilation so that you are keeping things cool on that roof deck for you. If you're in a situation where you've got insulation right up against your roof deck, then you want to have baffles in there so you do get some airflow. And those are some very specific situations that we can talk about. So when you're looking at roofing, make sure you ask your installer about how they're going to check your ventilation and what they're doing for that provision-wise to make sure that you've got good intake, you've got good exhaust. If you've got box vents, if you've got turbine vents on your roof, if you've got a power fan on your roof, those may not be the most efficient and effective ways to deal with heat buildup in your attic. And we really should look at these other options, and we've got some other videos here on our YouTube channel, which you can glance at to get a sense for what this is really all about and get you some education before you hire that next roofing contractor to work on your house. So Norm's working on putting these blocking up so that we've got something to nail that soffit to that's going to run across here. before the new capping comes back down. And German's working on finishing getting the rest of the roofing stripped off the top. And once those two parts of the project is completed, we should be able to start re-shingling the front of the deck here. And meanwhile, Norm will probably work on getting the ventilation put in on the back side of things. A couple other projects that we're gonna be working on here today. We've already been here to take apart the siding over this back patio door here by the kitchen and repair some water damage that had happened and change the way the flashing layers were set to help prevent more water from coming in. So now that that leak has been stopped, there's some hardwood floor inside that we need to patch out. We're gonna steal some wood from underneath the stove, move that over here by the back door. And then we're also gonna be taking apart this door, and we suspect that they're having similar challenges there, although it hasn't shown up quite as pronounced. And so this door is gonna be coming apart as well. So that's the update here from Avondale, Pennsylvania. For you considering hiring a roofer for work on your home, ask them about that high nail wind rating installation method. Ask them about checking your ventilation and making sure you've got good intake and exhaust for your soffits and your ridge vent before they go talking about putting that new roof on there. Asking, does it make sense to eliminate the power turbine? Does it make sense to eliminate that box vent? And can we do something that's a little bit more continuous? It's gonna have a little bit more even air distribution. And there's other videos here on this playlist on YouTube where you can look and watch and learn about the science that goes behind this method and why we recommend it as being the most efficient way to ventilate and cool your roof deck and help preserve the life of your shingles and eliminate the buildup of the moisture and water vapor from cooking, cleaning, bathing, breathing that builds up in our home every day, 2 to 4 gallons. We need to get that out. And so lots of videos on here to help you learn more about that. If there's a problem we can solve for you, roofing, siding, windows, doors, decks, anything on the interior of your home, finish your basement, remodel your bathroom, renovate your kitchen, plumbing, electrical, drywall, spackle, paint, build your custom dream house, in addition, a garage, take a picture of the problem that's bugging you, send it to our team on our Facebook page, click that contact us button there at the top, send us a picture and the contact details and a little bit of what's going on with your project that you'd like us to work on for you, and we'd be happy to start that conversation. We have a dedicated office staff standing by to answer your call weekdays, 9:30 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon at 484-748-0008. Choose option 2 for CopeBUILT, your full service construction and renovation company, and extension 2 for new projects. CopeBUILT is Pennsylvania home improvement contractor number 88078, registered in Newcastle County, Delaware 10490. Remember, we're finished with it. You're going to be proud to say it's not just done. It was CopeBUILT. We'll catch you in the next edition of Forever Home. Bye for now.